It is officially July. A few days late to the party, actually. July 4th already happened. What this means, though, it means summer's coming to an end. It's going to be done before we know it. And what that means is a lot of adaptability coming our way, staying light on our feet, making changes, having changes occur, making sure that we can handle them. Whether you are in high school going to your next season, whether you are a high school senior going to college, whether your family's moving, whether in Iowa you have a full week of not doing any sports, quote unquote. Big changes are coming our way, even here at TAH. If you're new here, my name is Gabe Rummel, founder of The Athlete's Health, creator of its Mental Performance Playbook podcast here, where we break down elite mental strategies and delivering them in actionable exercises for you, whether you're the athlete or if you're a coach or a parent looking to help out the athletes, to apply immediately. Created our Fronoic Gym. We have trackable mental training. That's what we do. Please, though, before even go look at any of our other free resources or try to get a training session on, which you totally can, if you are not following or subscribed to these episodes, do that now. And if you find it valuable, share this show with someone who should see it, especially at this time, because like I said, moving is inevitable. And I have a secret at the end of this episode that is dropped on here that when this is now posted, everyone will see. And it's some fun stuff. But it is the truth. And in this episode, we will actually break down just exactly how and why this change is so imperative to our performance, how it is and why, and how more specifically we can then handle it and train it. So we have some exercises to use in this episode. But seriously, think about this. You're going into a new environment. There's so many new pieces, new insights, new sounds, new faces. Your brain is not used to that. As you've been in your routine, as the athletes have been in their routine right now, and everything's the same to them, well, now we have a new different spot, and all of a sudden we are noticing so much, and there's so much coming on. I know whatever age, way, shape, form you are in, you've had this happen to you when you go to a new place. Now, this is our brain doing its job. It's soaking everything in. There is no filter yet. It is cataloging it, categorizing it, figuring out what things need to go where, what is important, what is not. It's why if you travel for a big sporting event, we want to try and keep everything as similar to what we are used to as possible so we can hone in on that focus point. But in this instance, when we're trying to stay light on our feet and adapt to the new environment, the new place, our focus has competition. And we cannot just simply tell ourselves, we cannot just simply outwork that competition and lock in. There's things that we need to do for this. And the example that I wanted to use for this in this episode is think about any sports championship game or match or, best of whatever series where it is the older, wiser, more experienced team versus the younger, maybe more talent, but less experienced team that has never been there. Now, yes, this is not actually sightseeing examples, but what this is many, many new firsts for that less experienced team. And I'm not necessarily saying that their brain is overwhelmed, but what I am saying is the experienced team does not have to necessarily think about all the situations. They know what to do, where the less experienced team is figuring it all out for the first time. And this was on high display, clear display for the latest NBA championships, where Wemby and the Spurs' young team, even though even Wemby said, we played better than them, the experience, age later in the game cost them. The other team focused on what was mattering and what they needed to do. And this is the same exact thing that happens if we move to a new state, move to a new college, move away from high school, move to the next year and more people, whatever the case is. This is where we want to be light on our feet, on our toes, and be able to adapt. And that does not just mean winging it. Rather, it means having a diligent plan, sticking to that plan, but also staying loose enough to move and pivot and maneuver when we need to or when that environment changes so we can ultimately have that outcome that we want to have the best happen. Now, the way to maneuver and to do all of that are these mental exercises. So it is one thing to understand why we need to be adaptive and why in this changing state and all this new stimuli and everything else, other to know how are we actually going to do this. So treat this like a training session. Let's walk through these and let's implement this. I have 3 quick exercises for us to use in performances in any situation, but specifically our performances that we have coming up. And yes, this is even in the state of Iowa for baseball and softball sub-state finals. This is for when your summer team is going on a trip and you're in a new place, but you still want to lock in on the performance. This is for when you're the parent or the coach trying to help out your athlete lock in on these new situations or environments. First is an environmental scan. That's what we want to start with. Now, this can just be 60 seconds, getting ourselves in this new space and literally trying to observe as many places as we can. If you've ever actually been in a room with me when we're in a new spot, you'll probably know, and I'm just naturally more quiet anyways, but I'm especially more quiet the first few minutes because I am noting every picture on the wall. I'm noting every little nook, every cranny, every detail to try to get a more of an understanding of that person in the room, of the spot that we're at, to know the details that can get overlooked but can tell us many, many, many special cases. So it can literally be as simple as knowing that we want to shift our focus to the environment for the first 60 seconds. So we catalog it all, so we can categorize it all, and then get back to our performance after we have acknowledged what's there so we don't get pulled in many different new directions, but we can lock back in on our performance. Now, after we've done exercise number 1, we can go to exercise number 2 of this anchor routine. Now, this is just your pre-performance routine. This is something that we've talked about many different times, but no matter what sport it is, and no matter if we have only had one session together where we've only trained 1 or 2, or we've built the chain and we've made the whole funnel and we got our whole process in, we can have this routine. So once we've acknowledged everything in the area and we've done our environment 60-second scan, we can now get back to our routine and do it to funnel ourselves into our performance. So no matter what pulls us this way or pulls us that way, we're right back in it, whether that's our breathing, whether that's our cue, whether that's the sequencing, tons of different ways to put and piece this together. But the brain recognizes that signal, that strength that we have built and created to then go perform, no matter what is in the area, no matter what we need to do. And if we need our third exercise here of our performance cue, of our identity, we pull it out now. See, sometimes our athletes feel like they need their identity to be in that specific space, that specific gym, that specific weight room, that training facility, the mat. But if that is what we build it around, whenever we're in a new spot or new place that will not be the same, we cannot lock into that identity. We cannot use those cues. So we're actually combining those, the identity and the performance cues, into this exercise here. So then we can use it anywhere and everywhere. Call this our alter ego at TAH. This is that pulse, that performance pulse, that heartbeat. Well, we're having that beat for our alter ego now, whether that's your Black Mamba and Kobe Bryant and Super Calm Cool Collective, or if that's your hothead, get angry, Draymond Green, whoever else you want to be, evil villain. Flipping into this identity and having those cues, those short phrases or words that help us lock into that person, no matter where, no matter what, but to tie it in and implement it is the last part of our secret sauce here that we want to implement. So no matter what distractions are happening, we can lock this back in and make sure that we set ourselves up for that best success that we want and can adapt to whatever the environment, to whatever the place brings. Because whether we are moving, going to college, next level in high school, dead week in Iowa, and have the stimuli but still want to lock in, focus, play to our peak that we know we can, we have to be able to adapt. We have to be able to stay light on our feet. We have to know how to actually do that and not just why it is something that we should do. And then how do we do it? We don't know. Hopefully, this helps you as we are now in July of summer and we need to push through this last hump and get through to the fall, as there will be a lot of changes happening. Hopefully, you can implement some of these exercises and help out your performance and the performance of the athletes that you know. Once again, if you like this episode, please share it with someone. And my name is Gabe. Feel free to check out the resources below, and we will catch you next week. And the secret, by the way, is that yes, we have moved. We're working with some university programs in Utah and also still growing, connecting, building the Iowa market. So we are expanding and growing, and it is very fun. And we will keep putting these out and helping people out. We will catch you next week on the Mental Performance Playbook by the Athlete's Health and our Phrenomic Gym. Peace.